Rocket League is known for having one of the biggest skill gaps in games, and as a new player, I'm going to be seeing how fast I can get better throughout the course of the week. And these videos are just to keep track of my progress. So yeah, hope you enjoy. So right now I'm about silver 2. I'm plat in my other ranks, but I low-key got boosted, so I started off with 2 losses, but after warming up a bit, I managed to win most of my matches. This match was pretty close and I ended up hitting some pretty good goals. And even a couple aerials here and there. Right now I'm mainly focusing on my basic mechs like my popping, power shots, and also just hitting most of my aerials. I was working on my goalie skills too because I sucked at saving the ball. But nonetheless, over time, I got better. And these aerial training packs really helped. I hit a nice little flick here over his head and a good redirect here into the goal. Alright, next up we're going to be playing some 2v2s. Starting off with his W own goal. And I don't know what this is, but...
What? Whoa, we're playing Evil Rocket League right now.
Alright, enough with the jokes. I ended up hitting some pretty nice goals in 2v2s. This was an aerial redirect into the top left corner. And slowly but surely I was hitting harder and harder shots. I was getting used to the ball's physics and hitting it in the direction I want. And I got used to hitting basic aerials. I also got used to the timing and when to flip. And I also feel like I have more ball and card control. In the meanwhile of all that, I became a better goalie. I also never missed a free goal anymore in 2v2s, and yeah, my aerial skills just kept improving. Anyways, right now, I'm still silver in 1v1, so I decided to try and push gold. I'm 4 games away, and I was currently silver 3 division 3. The first game was really easy, and after I scored 2 goals, he just left. The second game was way harder though. He got an early lead, but I came back because he messed up some kickoffs. After that, he scored another 2 goals, but then he also owned gold. And I had the chance to tie it up with this kickoff right here, but I ended up shooting it with too much power. And he almost scored on me off that too. We ended up juggling back and forth a bit. He scored, then I scored. He messed up his half flip. And I ended up getting pretty lucky. I think his controller disconnected or something. He was AFK. So I got a free goal off that. I tried to give it back, but then he missed, so I just kept playing it. And yeah, eventually he forfeited and I won. Alright, now onto this third game. We ended up juggling for a minute and a half, and eventually I scored first. And then I scored again because of an unlucky ghost touch for him. I was up 3-0 with a minute and a half left. And after this goal, the game was basically just over. Another pretty easy win nonetheless. And now for my rank up game to gold. And this was low-key a pretty crazy game, so I ended up taking an early lead. But then I messed up and he ended up scoring. And then I messed up again. And then he hit this crazy angle shot or something. I don't know, bro. This is all luck, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Lost to 50 because of a flip. And I was down by now. I messed up on the wall again, and he ended up scoring again. I demoed him to save the shot. And this guy was not happy with the demo. He started being kind of toxic. Anyway, so I did it again. And clearly, he was not in a good mood. I messed up again, and he scored again, and the score was now 3-6. So I was down 3. And then he called me a loser, which is pretty mean. Anyway, I demoed him again. And again. And I end up scoring. He messed up and I scored again. And with 20 seconds left, I scored to tie it up. And then an insane sequence happened. I missed the save, but he also missed the shot. I turn around to get back to the ball, and then he shoots it backwards, and then I save it. And then he shoots it again, and I also save it again by the skin of my teeth. And now we're in overtime. I ended up going for a horrible air dribble off the bat, and then he banged it all the way to my wall, and then he centered it. I missed the bump, and yeah, he just scores. Pretty sad ending, but I'm not just gonna give up yet. I kept queuing and I was 2 games away from gold now. This first game was free. I ended up winning 5-0. Onto my rank up game once again. This is actually also a pretty interesting game. I score off the bat and then he also scores. I then take the lead by scoring a couple more. And eventually the score is 4-1. I made a little oopsie here and ended up own goalie on accident. And then he ends up with a saving. Anyways, I blocked him for the greater good because I don't want to get tilted. And 30 seconds later, he tied up the score, so I had to lock in. I got a sneaky little flick over him to take the lead. But he also had a sneaky little touch that I didn't expect. So now it was 6-6 with 30 seconds left. I end up winning the kickoff here and win the boost too. I catch the ball and do like a little mini pop and then he just misses it and I score. And he was at a lock in for this last 20 seconds. And that was game right there. I ended up unblocking him to see what he would say, but he forfeited really fast and left the match. And I was officially gold now. Anyways, that was enough for today, so I got off. Alright, next up, we're going to be playing some 2s and pushing my 2s rank. I'm currently Plat 2 D1, so I was aiming for Plat 3 or maybe even up to Diamond. But anyways, I am kind of boosted because my friend carries me, so I think he's like Diamond 2, so we're playing in Diamond 2 lobbies. Nothing happened for a minute and a half until my teammate scored this nice little aerial goal. And then I ended up getting this really nice bang, and I tried to follow through with it, but unfortunately I missed. While keeping the pressure up, we did manage to score another goal though. We managed to stall out the rest of the game and we got our first win. Second game started off great and we scored, but then they also scored a goal. I scored my first goal here, bringing the lead up to 3-1. They did manage to tie it up though. With 7 seconds left, I went up for this aerial. Great pass to my teammate, open net, and he scores. And yeah, we won. Alright, third game here. Let's keep the win streak going. So, as you can see, I scored a clutch goal to tie it up and bring the game to overtime. I went up for this aerial and then one of them had a horrible touch. So now all my teammate has to do is put in the net. And he missed, but it doesn't matter because I'm there to finish the job and we win. So now I was Plat 2 Division 2. Anyways, that's going to be all for this week. Tune in for the next episode. Drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Turn on the notification bell.